Hey everyone, welcome back to Recap Republic. Mark sits with Rigabi, sharing the information he got from his brief vision into Lumen. She thinks this means the process is working, but Mark is deeply upset by Gemma's complete lack of recognition. He talks about bargaining as a step in the grief process and realizes he might be able to make changes. Dylan talks to Helly and Mark S. at Lumen about a picture he found. He tells them about a hallway in the image and where it's hidden. Helly is still a bit sharp, given how she's been treated, but she plans to get it with a hall pass. Mark keeps talking to her but suddenly experiences a reintegration displacement, switching between his house and the Lumen office. Helly seems to be in both places as he closes the refrigerator door. Mr. Milchick waits in his office for Miss Huang, who joins him shortly. He reminds her that she needs his approval to move on from the fellowship until he decides she's Wintertide material. The tension is high, but Milchick tells Huang to watch the floor for him while he's busy. Mark tells Helly about how Milchick approached him in the elevator while they talk in a bathroom stall. Before she leaves, he admits they had sex while on the ORTBO. Helly seems hurt, thinking it's another tactic to drive them apart. Shaken, she tells Mark she needs to walk alone. Mark tries to stop her, but she slips away. Mr. Milchick works on his paperwork in a filing room, making sure everything is done correctly. Dylan talks to Gretchen about his many hobbies. Gretchen worries he's not happy, but Dylan says he's very pleased talking about my offspring and looking at her face. Gretchen finds it sweet, but Dylan grows sad realizing he can't be with her all the time. As they hug, Mark S. and Helly remember their romantic moments in the elevator and tent. Gretchen and Dylan stop hugging and kiss. Helly storms down the hall and runs into Mark, who apologizes again. Helly tells Mark she's angry that Helena got that experience, but she didn't. She then says she wants her own memory with him. Mark agrees, and they walk to an empty office where they find space under a desk. They sleep together under plastic sheets. The MDR office remains empty. Milchick finishes his paperwork and reopens his performance review. He sees a note that he uses too many big words and practices saying more casual phrases in the mirror, angrily repeating them. Mark and Helly walk back to MDR together. When she asks if it was different, he kisses her but starts a nosebleed. They go to Miss Huang, who tries to diagnose the cause. As she does, Mark flips between Lumen and his basement, where Rigabi works on him. He grows angry at how long the process takes, and when she suggests drilling into the existing hole Lumen used for the Severance device, he gets furious. Mark tears off her instruments and storms off to eat, which Rigabi notes is also a reintegration symptom. Audi Irving arrives at Audi Bert's home, where Bert pretends not to know him. After the prank, Bert invites Irving inside and introduces Fields. There's some tension, but they sit for dinner. Irving asks what brought Bert to Lumen. Bert explains that in his youth, he did some bad things, but his church saw innies as their own beings with their own souls, separate from their Audis. They saw it as a way for a part of Bert to go to heaven with Fields. Gretchen returns home to Audi Dylan and their family. When Dylan asks how everything went, Gretchen lies, saying she didn't see his innie because Lumen cancelled. He keeps eating with the kids as she walks away. At a restaurant, Audi Mark eats as much food as he can. He notices a woman looking at him, and after they make eye contact, she walks over. Helena knows his name and introduces herself. He knows who she is and lets her sit. Helena apologizes for the OTC error, and they discuss Lumen. She jokes that Mark should meet her father. Helena asks about his experience and mentions he lost Hannah. Mark corrects her, saying his wife's name is Gemma, and he says goodbye. They stand, staring at each other, and Mark has further reintegration issues as he leaves. He rushes to his car and drives away. A hand with the tattoo, Frolic, opens a chest, revealing Severance-related items. Names like Bert, Dylan, and Irving are on the pages with notes. It seems this is Mr. Drummond. At dinner, Irving asks why Fields calls Bert Attila. It started as Hun and changed over time, but the husbands disagree on when. Fields thinks it happened 20 years ago, but Irving notes Severance only started 12 years prior. Bert tries to move the conversation along, but Fields asks if the former Lumen employees believe their innies had sex at work. Bert thinks Fields is trying to humiliate Irving. Fields says he's not mad and hopes it was beautiful. He's talked about it with his pastor and believes even innies deserve love. When Mark returns home, he tells Rigabi he wants to do the surgery tonight. After finishing her ice cream, she puts Mark into a surgical position and cuts into his skull and brain. Watching the screen, he sees where she digs to find the Severance device. She removes it, and his memories flood back. He leaps up as his memories of sleeping with Helly and Gemma overlap. Rigabi tells him not to jump, but someone knocks on the door. They try to ignore it, but Devon calls out. Mark realizes he has to go upstairs because his car is in the driveway. He lets Devon in but tells her not to worry about Lumen espionage. He quickly grows irate and has trouble picking up his glass of water. His memories continue to reintegrate, causing him to fall. Devon rushes to help, and Rigabi runs upstairs. She tells Devon to leave him alone, and Devon asks who she is. Mark continues to twitch as they stand over him. Bert leads Irving to the door, apologizing for Fields' behavior. He brushes off the 20 years at Lumen comment. Irving says they should do it again, and Bert implies he'd like to do it without Fields. They nod and agree as Irving walks to his car. And that's a wrap for this recap. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this episode or what show you'd like me to recap next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.